Hey guys, so I've been thinking a lot about this election. It is November 23rd, and Donald Trump still thinks he's won this election. And it made me realize I kind of understand Donald Trump now. I didn't because it didn't make sense. You couldn't connect the dots with this guy. Um, like most people, I didn't know much about him before he became president. I didn't care to know much about him other than the reality show. The Apprentice, I was really entertained by that. I actually liked the show. It's one of my one of the seasons. I think 2004 is one of my favorite TV shows for that year. Um, but now with the presidency, like I always tell people that support Donald Trump, I have a lot of people I'm surrounded by that support him. Is that I always say this. I never take my car to my barber to get fixed. I don't take my haircut. I don't take my hair to my mechanics to get fixed. It's just, you don't elect a guy, you don't hire a guy that's not qualified for the job. And I think he's proven that he's not qualified to be president. Whichever way you look at it, I saw a bunch of people saying, oh, but he's such a um personable guy. He's like he talks to you like a regular guy. No, it's not a likability contest. It's not a popularity contest. And I think most of the people that support Trump or voted for him, they like him. Obviously when he ran with Hillary, I love Trump. I was like, oh yeah, he's funny. He's kind of charismatic, in the debates, and he's a cool guy. But I voted with my brain. I voted like I want someone that's gonna be thinking in office about what the choices they make and how it affects everyone, not just people that voted for them. And I think that's why Biden is a good fit. But the point of this video is just like I kind of understand Donald Trump now in that winning is very important to him, and I think it's dangerous. His mentality is something I think that we need to shift away from this American mentality of winning is everything at all costs, win at all costs. I think winning comes with great responsibility. To say you've won an election or win something, whether it be a competition, it comes with great responsibility. I know it sounds cliche, with great responsibility, with great power comes with responsibility. But you're not winning. I always tell people, even recently, that the election was stolen from Donald Trump. One of my friends told me that like it's such a political thing. They took the election from him. I'm like, it's not something you win. It's not like a prize. It's not like a trophy. It's not like a cruise or a vacation. It's at the time the election ended, coronavirus was coming back around for the third, fourth, fifth wave, or the second wave here in New York. Whoever became president on November 4th, is not going to be easy 4 years ahead. The last 4 years was fun and games, but the next 4 years is not fun and games. As a regular American, as a politician, it has to, balance the books, make sure another 250,000 people don't die in the next 4 years, the next year. The vaccine did come out, but now the problem with the vaccine is no one wants to take it. There's a lot of questions. Trump is claiming credit as far back as January 2019 when he was saying it was a hoax all throughout February and March. But his mentality is very dangerous, and we have to steer away from this winning at all costs. Even in sports, like I remember in a couple years ago, I was a big Real Madrid fan. It's a soccer club in Spain, and I remember it's Real Madrid Barcelona, and the La Liga is the league they play in. These two teams are winning all the titles, the league titles. That means you win the top of the table, you win the group games that you play throughout the season. So it's only two teams. Imagine like the Knicks or Lakers were the only two teams winning trophies in the NBA for the last 20 years, 30 years, right? Basketball would be pretty much boring and kind of like, what's the point if the same teams are going to win, right? In that regards, like winning kind of loses its luster. It's not the same. And the other aspect with winning is that when you win and say a team won a trophy in 2000, say 10, right? The bar is raised in 2011, right? So I always thought it's funny that when a team wins something in the year before, they're expected to win more the next year, even though there's not more trophies to win. It's not a new thing to win. It's the same trophies you're vying for, competing for. So the luster of winning in that regards, even if you win one year, you have to win more the next year, but there's not more things to win. It's the same amount of things you have to win. But The thing is too, the competition might have figured you out. Oh, they use this player to win games. Oh, that's their secret. We know what they, and it's harder to win the next year, and sequentially so forth. So winning becomes kind of like, oh my God, it's so tiresome, like even for as a player, as a competitor, you're like, oh man, it's like an endless loop of I won this year, but now I'm back to like, you win in 2010, but now 2011 comes around, you have to win again. It's like you're back to square one. You don't win anything really. If you look at it like that, there's nothing to win. And I think when you win it all, costs on the table with Trump, he wants to win this election so bad, even though people are dying by the thousands every day. His attention isn't going back and recounting just to win. And like, what's the point? What's the point? It's already been called. It just needs to be certified now. And it's so stupid. I turn on the TV every day and I'm like, why are we getting into the science of elections? It's so simple. It should be like, you got all the votes, you win. It shouldn't have been simple as that with Hillary Clinton winning the popular votes. But then electoral college became something everyone like, what is this? Oh, we got to learn this. And then we learned it. And then Biden won with both the electoral college and the popular vote. And Trump is still claiming fraud. And some Republicans are claiming, oh, it has to be counted and recounted. Come on, guys. Like, let's move past this winning. We're not in a John Wayne Western movie where you shoot the bad guy and you win and you go home with the beautiful princess or the girl to the big house in the prairie. It's not like that anymore. This is 2020. Winning is not what it used to be. It's not a Western. It's not a movie. It's not theater. It's people are dying. You can win everything. You could be the richest person in the world. But if I always say, like, I would trade being the richest man on the planet, like a Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates. I think Bill Gates remarked on this in one of his many interviews where, like, what's the point of being rich if everyone else around you is failing or dying or suffering? There's no point in being rich and getting all the food on your table, getting all the cars in your garage, getting the biggest house on the hill, if everything around you is on fire, everything around you is dying. Right? We all live on one planet. We're not separate from anyone else in this planet. We're not separate from anything else in the universe. We're all connected. So if I'm doing well and you guys not doing well, it's pointless for me. It makes me feel it's silly. It's useless, right? For Trump to thinking he's going to win this by recounting and just arguing the case every day since the election, whilst people are dying, whilst California might still be in fire, not sure, whilst things are happening, people are going to lose their homes at the end of the year with the eviction thing being lifted. There's nothing to win, Republicans. There's nothing to win by voting for a guy you like, who's really cool. Oh, he relates to us. Oh, maybe I'm racist and I like what he says. I'm a white nationalist and I like what he says. I have a farm in Idaho and Trump is going to bail us out, and I like him. It doesn't end at this guy. Your life, Republicans, Trump voters, your life don't end and start at a Donald Trump, right? After Donald Trump leaves office, you guys gonna have to take those Trump flags down and maybe go back in the closet and hide, But your life, sad to say, is all connected. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, whether you're racist, whether you're Black Lives Matter movement person, we all live in one country, one planet, and we have to literally, if you can't have one side winning and the other, everything else losing. And that's another thing about Donald Trump that's key to his personality, is that, and also the people that follow him, not traditional Republicans, but this group of Trump supporters, like a Candace Owens, Officer Tatum, Ben Shapiro. You go through their YouTube stuff, and a lot of their mentality is based on the other side must be losing for us to be winning, right? Ben Shapiro spends 99% of his, whatever he does, I don't know what he does, talking about black people, talking about Democrats, talking about the left, right? And for that mentality, the left, black people, Democrats, they have to be losing for me to be winning, right? For me to win, that side of America has to lose, has to be diminished. It doesn't work like that, right? It doesn't work like that. It's not like, it seriously does not work like that. And I think it's a psychological mentality that, growing up in school, I was an athlete. I ran track and field. I played a bit of football. I wrestled for a part of a semester in high school. I played handball competitively. I played tennis at summer camp. I never played soccer. It was one of my things I regret as my childhood, not playing football. And every coach every coach I've ever had, the team talk, the individual talk was winning. You have to win. We have to go out. This is our strategy to win, right? And it seemed it ended there. As a kid, as a 13-year-old kid, as a 12-year-old kid in like this world, winning and I know it's an American concept, it ended at winning, right? I could see where it applies to a war, right? Or a dispute where you want to win, right? Because you're protecting your interests, you're protecting yourself. So winning is protecting yourself, right? But when you play a team sport, it doesn't end at winning. And sometimes you could win a game or win the competition, but you lose your best player, or you lose maybe respect of your fans because maybe you cheated to win, or maybe maybe you didn't win a certain way. You could lose a lot of things by winning in the end. So winning, it doesn't end at winning. And I know growing up, that's all we heard as playing on a team, playing sports competitively. Even in class, like winning, doing good, is like this winning, and life ends at when you win. But it doesn't. It is still the next day. Tomorrow is Tuesday. Jose Mourinho, one of my favorite coaches, used to say, interviewed him before it's a soccer coach in Europe. He said, "Oh yeah, what happens? Are you worried about losing this competition? Are you worried about, are you worried what happens if the results don't go your way and you don't win?" And he goes, "If I win, I lose. Tomorrow is going to be Tuesday. Tomorrow is going to be Wednesday. Life goes on. Whether you win today or lose today, you go on to the next day, and whether if you win at a high cost, you have to pay that cost back the next day, right? If Donald Trump thinks he's going to win this election, the cost of him winning is going to be tremendous, not for him, but for the American people. We already paid the price for him winning in 2016. I honestly believe if Hillary Clinton and anyone else was president in the last 4 years, coronavirus we won't be leading the world. People will say, "Oh, Trump did a good job." I have a person that lives, my neighbors told me, "Oh, I think Trump did a good job in the coronavirus." I'm like, have you been looking at the news? America's leading in deaths, cases. The way we handle it poorly, we're leading in that. People don't want to wear masks since the end of the freaking year. I've been working from home the whole year pretty much. I've been wearing a mask the whole year pretty much. My kids, we're lucky my kids are in school. But neighbors, their kids are home right now in front of a computer looking at stuff. They're suffering in a way they don't get to socialize the kids, right? And Donald Trump done a good job on coronavirus. In July, August, September, my friends in Europe, my family in South America, my friends in Mexico, my friends in Canada, all their kids were going back to school, right? Even though they might have still been working from home, their kids were going back to school. I saw pictures on Instagram, and we didn't even know in August if schools are going to open in September, right? And that's where our country stood mid-year at coronavirus peaking. And now it's re-peaking, and the president is just playing golf. Maybe he wants to win something, so he's going to go play golf and win, So that's my spiel for today. Winning is not everything, and I think the mentality of teaching our kids, our next generation, about winning, a winning mentality, it's just silly. It's old school. It's not. It comes from, I know where it comes from. I know it's embedded deeply into this American culture of winning. When it comes to wartime, when it comes to protecting the country, protecting your personal assets from an outside invader, from outside forces, yes, winning will be everything, because it will be life or death, But if it's within the house, within your house, and you're eating, and your children are starving, your brother or your sister is not eating, you're eating, then that's not winning. I'm sorry to tell you, Americans. I'm sorry to tell you, Trump supporters. You don't win if the other half of the country lose. It doesn't work like that. As an adult, thinking about this, it does not work like that. Maybe as a 5-year-old on the playground, yeah, I won this game. It works. That's fine. But as an adult, we all live in one planet. We all live in one globe. Me winning doesn't mean that you have to lose. And I think that sums up the whole Trump movement. These people believe black people on the left, Democrats, minorities, immigrants, they have to lose. They have to be kicked out. They have to be suppressed. For them to win, even though they're dying of poverty and hunger and not having health insurance and all types of craziness that goes on in the Midwest and those red states, right? They're not winning anything even 4 years after Trump. I don't think they were. I could go to Tennessee or Oklahoma, which is one of the reddest states, or even West Virginia, and I go and interview every person that voted for Trump, everyone that's Republican, and see, oh, are you winning really? What have you won? And I'm sure more than 50% of those people would say they're not doing much better than they were 4 years ago.